Does a foe from Oliver Queen's past hold the deep, dark secret as to why his family can never be whole? Well, let's hop into the pages of Green Arrow issue number 4 and find out the answers together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, and yes, I know that was a while, trust me, I've been counting down the days, poor Green Arrow was ping-ponging around time and space, on a quest to try and discover why exactly it is none of the members of the Arrow family can all stay in one place for very long. This journey took him to the 31st century, home to the Legion of Superheroes, where he ended up coming under attack by none other than Parallax, aka the evil spirit of fear that occasionally inhabits the body of Ollie's best friend Hal Jordan. We actually get treated to a nice little visual history of Green Arrow and Green Lantern, how they weren't always the best of friends, they were always cocky and headstrong. They had their losses and their victories, they often battled over who was actually the best looking superhero in green. They were hard traveling heroes, don't you know? And Green Arrow also just so happened to be the one to lodge an arrow into the heart of Parallax, a fact of which he has seemingly not gotten over. Though Parallax does try and attempt to get inside Ollie's head a little bit, saying, "Oh, did I really do so many bad things? If I recall, I'm the one who saved the sun. Hell, I'm also the one who helped bring you back to life. And why yes, before you even have to ask, I'm also the reason that you and your family keep getting spread across time and space, but I only did it because you asked me to and because I'm such a good friend." Well, to be precise, an older version of Ollie, the one we keep seeing in all of the video messages, is actually the one who asked Parallax to do this, saying that if he didn't, Star City would become the next Coast City, aka a smoldering pit of rubble. Green Arrow refuses to believe any of this, and because Parallax is just having too much fun screwing with Ollie, he decides to imbue him with some more of his chronal energy so that he can ever so briefly return to the present where Black Canary and Roy are waiting for him. The only problem is that we're doing one of those whole quantum out of step things, meaning they can't hear him or see him. Dinah and Roy are of course still trying to chase down leads from there, and Belle Rev and Amanda Waller ended up being a bust, so they figure the next best course of action is to check out the Brick House, Star City's #1 villain bar, frequented by such famous faces as Billy Talkman the Clock King and even Dr. Psycho. If the name of the place wasn't a dead giveaway already, it happens to be owned by none other than Brick, famous longtime Green Arrow foe. Brick doesn't take too kindly to these outsider superhero folks messing up his fine establishment, and as such all the bad guys decide to jump our two heroes. They end up getting saved, though, by the appearance of Jade, aka Cheshire, aka Roy's baby mama, who manages to turn off the lights and beat up all of the supervillains before turning them back on. Roy actually has a really funny line by saying, "Oh geez, Jade, you know, I always thought you were a lights-on kind of person." Ooh. Believe it or not, Roy Harper didn't come here just to make dirty jokes with his ex-wife. In fact, he's come here to share the good news with her that he's finally found their daughter Leanne, and that they could still probably use all the help they could get in trying to unravel this strange conspiracy that only seems to run deeper and deeper. And hey, speaking of Leanne, we check back on in with her, Connor, and the Legion of Superheroes back in the 31st century. They want to give chase to Parallax and Green Lantern, but sadly Brainiac 5 thinks it's a bad idea. Again, he clearly knows more than he's letting on, and he can't exactly share what's going on with Green Arrow and the possible destruction that him and his family end up bringing upon themselves and their city, because to do so would be to break Legionary rules. Though, as Saturn Girl and the others are quick to bring up, hey, whoever this villain is who's been screwing with Oliver and the rest, clearly they're manipulating and screwing with time already, which means they would most definitely fall under Legion jurisdiction, which means that they should probably end up giving chase anyway. Now, where exactly did Green Arrow and Parallax end up getting off to? Well, apparently Parallax dragged Ollie all the way to the end of time, or at least to the end of Star City. Whatever Ollie may or may not have done, he's done it here, and well, Green Arrow's had it absolutely up to here. He's sick of all the mystery, he's sick of the runaround, and as such he decides to just challenge Parallax to a fist fight. If he wins, Parallax has to come clean and tell him absolutely everything he knows, and if he loses, Parallax can strand him here in this hellhole for the rest of time. Why would Parallax agree? Well, because Ollie knows just the thing to get under this guy's skin, saying that if he really was the real Hal Jordan like he claims to be, Hal wouldn't ever be afraid to throw down. He's the most fearless man he's ever known, and if he really is a big evil space bug made of fear, of course he'd just turn tail and run. The two actually end up having a really goddamn good scrap all across Star City. I'm instantly reminded of Rowdy Roddy Piper and the back alley brawl in They Live. Eventually, Parallax is forced to give up the ghost when he's losing that, yeah, it was always him in charge and there is no shred of Hal left anymore. Ollie very hilariously says that he always knew that because A, Hal can throw a punch, and B, he could most certainly take a punch, well, this guy can't. Now, despite winning the fight, Parallax seemingly just opts to leave Ollie in this time period anyway, though giving answers and leaving him behind might very well end up being one and the same thing, as Green Arrow ends up coming face to face with Old Man Oliver Queen, the guy whose video messages basically kicked all of this off to begin with, and hey, he essentially looks like his Dark Knight's Returns counterpart, only this guy still has an arm. And it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody, and so that was Green Arrow issue number 4, and oh man, it's so nice to have this series back. I know Joshua Williamson is a busy guy right now doing a lot of high-profile projects. It would be very easy for this one to fall through the cracks. This issue definitely does a good job shining a spotlight on the strange and wonderful history shared between Green Arrow, Green Lantern, and Parallax, and how their lives continue to intersect over the generations. It's also really nice to have Cheshire back in the book too. Obviously, you know, we wanted Leanne Harper back for the longest time, and maybe now that she's back, maybe her father and mother will give their relationship a second chance. Probably not, but I can dream. Also, while I usually have a theory for everything, I actually don't have one concerning what exactly it was that was so bad that Green Arrow did that ended up destroying all of Star City. Williamson as a writer is definitely one of those guys who has done his homework and is probably going to reference some forgotten piece of Green Arrow lore, and I'll probably blow my mind when I read it. Or maybe, just maybe, it'll tie into the next big event that Joshua Williamson is working on, because it seems that this, the Helmet of Hate, the newly canonized Light, and everything from post-Dark Crisis is all sort of connected. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one another 8 out of 10. I am just so happy to have some Green Arrow in my life again, and I think you can all tell. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.